sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.
Ever get that feeling like something just catches your eye? You know, maybe it's a stunning picture or a little news blurb, and you think, I want to know more about that. But then, life just takes over.
I know exactly what you mean. And the stuff you've pulled together for today, it seems like it all comes from something pretty visually appealing.
It does. The jumping off point for our deep dive today is actually the Google Doodle.
Oh, interesting.
If you saw it, it featured those cherry blossoms, those gorgeous, delicate pink flowers that really, scream, spring is here. And for me, it sparked a curiosity that went way beyond, just how pretty they are. And it seems like I wasn't alone because a bunch of news outlets were diving into the same thing. We've got a whole pile of articles here looking at, their cultural significance and all the buzz around their blooming right now.
Sounds like we're going beyond just admiring their fleeting beauty then. Trying to get to the heart of why these blossoms are such a, phenomenon, I guess.
Exactly. We're going to dig into the traditions, the festivals, and that, almost electric anticipation that builds as they get ready to pop.
I'm intrigued already.
And, even the Google Doodle itself kind of gave us a hint, right? I mean, you saw the blossoms opening and then those petals, gently drifting away, really hitting home how short-lived they are.
Right.
And Google even mentioned that Japanese word sakura, It all ties into this idea of blossoming, but also this really temporary beauty.
And that's often the magic of Google Doodles, isn't it? They shine a light on something meaningful, whether it's, a historical event, an important figure, or in this case, a natural phenomenon that holds a lot of cultural weight.
Yeah, they do a good job of highlighting those things. Okay, so these gorgeous pink flowers, they're more than just a pretty sight, right? Especially in Japan, they seem to have this, truly special place.
Oh, absolutely. The cherry blossom is actually considered the national flower of Japan. It's woven so deeply into their culture that it represents not just beauty, but also this poignant awareness of the impermanence of life.
There's that idea of fleeting beauty again. It seems pretty central to understanding them, wouldn't you say?
It really is. And this concept is captured so perfectly in the tradition of hanami. Did you come across that term in your research?
Yeah, it was described as these flower viewing parties.
Wow.
Sounds absolutely delightful.
It's a cherished tradition, truly. People gather, often in huge numbers, beneath these blooming cherry trees to, really take in their beauty. It's a time to connect with friends, family, enjoy food and drink, and really be present in the moment, acknowledging the brief but spectacular show these blossoms put on.
I can almost picture it.
And what's fascinating is how this tradition, which is so deeply rooted in Japan, has actually spread across the globe. You see it everywhere now.
It's incredible, isn't it? You see cherry blossom festivals popping up in all sorts of places. It's almost as if this appreciation for them has become a universal thing. Speaking of which, one of the most famous spots for cherry blossoms outside of Japan has got to be Washington, D.C., right?
It is. And your articles mention a really significant historical event, the gift of those cherry trees from Japan back in 1912, a really powerful gesture of friendship. And those trees that line the tidal basin are just iconic.
And it sounds like the excitement's building there right now. The article said they reached that last stage before peak bloom on March 23rd. That's so soon.
It is. The National Park Service is predicting peak bloom will hit around March 28th.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. People follow it closely. And when those trees reach their peak, the city is just transformed, a sea of pink and white.
Breathtaking, I bet. And it's not just about looking at the flowers, is it? There's a whole festival that comes with it.
There is. The National Cherry Blossom Festival in D.C. It's a month-long celebration, a massive event, draws visitors from all over the world.
So D.C. is the one everyone thinks of, but it looks like Ohio is becoming a bit of a cherry blossom destination in its own right. One article highlighted the Cherry Blossom Festival in Columbus, and get this, USA Today ranked it as one of the top spots in the U.S. to see the blooms. That's saying something.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it speaks to how widespread this love for cherry blossoms has become.
Yeah.
Columbus has over 5,000 cherry trees, which is that's a lot of trees.
Wow. And the festival there, it's happening right now, isn't it? Runs from March 24th all the way to April 15th, according to the article. Sounds like there are some great spots to see them at the Franklin Park Conservatory and Botanical Gardens, plus all sorts of activities planned around the greater Columbus area. So, if you're in Ohio, a trip to D.C. might not even be necessary.
Exactly. And Columbus isn't the only Ohio city getting involved. Akron's hosting its Downtown Akron Sakura Festival on Saturday, April 5th.
Sakura, there's that beautiful Japanese word again. It really has become the go-to term for cherry blossoms, hasn't it?
It has. And the story behind the cherry trees in Akron is pretty special. They were planted along the Ohio and Erie Canal with support from the Japanese Association of Northeast Ohio. A great example of cultural exchange, made real tangible.
That's wonderful. So these aren't just any trees. They have this connection to Japanese culture. The festival itself is set along the towpath trail, including locks 1, 2, and 3, and it sounds like a real community thing with food, music, local vendors.
It does. It shows how different communities are finding their own ways to celebrate this natural beauty and the cultural ties it represents.
And hold on, there's more. The article mentioned Country Living magazine ranked a bunch of other Ohio cities as some of the best places in the U.S. to see cherry blossoms. Cincinnati came in at number 20, Athens at 22, and Cleveland at 27. Not bad for one state.
Impressive, right? Gives you a sense of just how many pockets of cherry blossom beauty are out there.
For sure.
For Cincinnati, they specifically mentioned the Weeping Cherry Grove at Alt Park, and their peak bloom was estimated to be very recently, between March 23rd and 27th. So prime time to see them if you're in that area.
Right on time. And Athens seems to be really building the anticipation, with Ohio University even having a countdown to their estimated bloom on March 31st. Plus, they're sharing a weekly photo slideshow, which is such a cool way to get everyone involved and excited.
It is. It builds a sense of shared anticipation and lets people follow along as the blooms develop. And in Cleveland, the article pointed to over 100 Yoshino cherry trees at Brookside Reservation. They've nicknamed it Blossom Lane. How cute is that?
I love it.
There are also cherry blossoms to see at Wade Lagoon in University Circle, and they were already showing a lot of growth back in mid-March.
Amazing how many places are in on this. The article even gave a few more shout-outs, like the Dayton Art Institute, Carillon Historical Park, the Masonic Temple in Dayton with their Operation 2000 Cherry Tree Project, and the Japanese Garden at Dawes Arboretum in Newark. Seriously, Ohio is a cherry blossom hotspot.
It seems that way. Shows how much this appreciation has taken root in different communities, leading to, dedicated plantings and local celebrations.
So putting it all together, it's clear that this cherry blossom, which was the focus of a simple Google Doodle, carries this incredibly rich cultural weight, especially in Japan with hanami, but increasingly here in the U.S. too, with the big festival in D.C. and all these growing celebrations and gorgeous spots, especially in Ohio right now.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how this temporary natural phenomenon has inspired such lasting traditions and still captures our imagination year after year.
Makes you think, doesn't it? The sudden burst of beautiful, delicate flowers that's gone so quickly. Why does it have such a powerful impact on so many different cultures? What does it say about us that we're drawn to celebrate something so fleeting? Something to ponder as we enjoy the short-lived magic of the sakura.
Definitely food for thought.
That's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Be sure to check back in for more deep dives into the subjects you want to know more about.
See you next time.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get you.